Saint Lucia, mama, that's the land of my birth. Welcome, welcome to Saint.
Good morning. Hey, Kiwi. Hi, Floriana. Good morning. Good morning, Mama. Welcome, you guys. Just listening to some music this morning while we let more people come in. I am listening to Back It Up by Freezy. 2020 soca. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you were able to make it, Floriana. Welcome. You get to actually learn how to make a chairman's drink today. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, I got it. Good morning, Mama. So as you guys are coming on, let me just turn down my music a little bit today here. Usually I have much more help with, okay, thank you. Usually I have a lot more help behind the scenes for tech, but Dimitri is working an early shift this morning at the Coffee Importers, and Roxy's getting her braces off today, so John's with her at the dentist. So I am left alone to manage all of the tech stuff by myself. So just kind of bear with me here today. Today's rum shop talk, obviously we're going to be doing our rum drink, as I promised you guys. We'll be going through Chairman's list of cocktails and trying them out. I also wanted to talk to you guys about intentionality. So we talk about like legal stuff here, and I'm happy to answer any legal questions that you have, but I also want it to be a place where you learn more than just the legal stuff. Hey Dex, good morning. Why do women in our family not age? You're gonna have to ask the matriarch that question. Hopefully she's got an answer for you, because we got our genes from her. And so in terms of intentionality, I want you guys to, and I want it to be an interactive session today. So I want you guys to think about your why. And the concept of why for our family came up when my son signed up for ASU, Associated Student Union, when he was in high school. So he graduated 4 years ago. And the instructor at the time asked them to consider their whys. What is the reason why they were joining ASU? What is their overall why in life? What do they hope to accomplish? And you know, for a freshman in high school, 13, 14 years old, that's a difficult question to pose and to try to figure out the answer to. But what you also realize, what I have also come to realize, is it's not just the young person who's struggling with figuring out that why. We as adults also have a hard time figuring out that why, because we do spend a lot of time just kind of moving from thing to thing. You get busy and you really aren't thinking about the intentions behind your actions, right? So I wanted us to kind of slow down today and really think about our whys. You know, what is the thing that helps you wake up in the morning? What is the thing that guides your actions? What is your overall overarching why, and I invite you to share it in the comments, because I really want, like I said, I want this to be very interactive today. So I invite you guys to share your whys in the comments. Let's have an engaging session. Hopefully we can learn from each other, and today, moving forward, hopefully live a much more intentioned life. So that is our Rum Shop talk today. So you guys think about your whys, share it in the comments below, and we will get started with our rum drink for today. So as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I discovered Chairman's list of cocktails, and I am going through the list. Today we are going to make, let me pull up the recipe right here, a Chairman's Old Fashioned. And so disclaimer, I have not tried this drink yet, as in like all the other Chairman's drinks that I've done so far. They've all turned out to actually be really good, so I am fingers crossed that this one does not disappoint. Our ingredients for the Chairman's Old Fashioned, we have, of course, our trusty Chairman's Reserve rum, not the spice version, you guys, just the regular version. So we've got that here today. We need some Angostura bitters. It's a staple. I grew up with Angostura bitters in my house, and so it is a staple in my bar. Then we have some sugar in the raw, so that like kind of grainy brown sugar. We have that here. And then we need orange zest. Okay, so let's get started. First, it says we need 2 ounces of Chairman's, and we need a teaspoon of the sugar, 3 dashes of the bitters, and the orange zest. And the first thing that you start with is your sugar and your bitters. So 1 teaspoon of sugar and 3 dashes of your bitters. 1, 2, 3. I think I went a little overboard with my my dashes here, so I think that's gonna make a difference. And then you're supposed to muddle it. I guess get it all yummy in there. And I've got my little Bacardi Mojito muddler that I got for free when I bought a bottle of Bacardi a while ago. So I think you could use just about anything that, like, you know, has that kind of thing to it. So that, I think, now the ingredients won't tell me what I'm supposed to, the instructions won't tell me what I'm supposed to be looking for, you guys. So I'm hoping I got it right. So muddle the sugar and the bitters in your glass, and then pop in some ice. And then the rum. So 2 ounces of rum. I'm just gonna use the cap to measure that out. And then you stir it. So this looks like it's gonna be a really strong drink today. Welcome, Eva. Welcome everyone else who is coming. I can't really see as you guys come in, so say hello, so I could, you know, welcome you to the rum shop. So I stirred it, and then we're gonna pop in our orange zest here. Squeeze that in. Whew. And then here you have it. I'll taste it and let you know what I think. Okay, sweet, a little orangey. Definitely taste the the Chairman's. I don't recommend this as your morning cocktail because you probably won't get through the day. So I'm not gonna drink any much more of this, but it's good, worth a try. So I will put the recipe below, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoot in over around the bar because I want to see your comments and I have a hard time seeing it from here as we discuss our whys. So stay tuned as I come around. Okay, next time I will try it like you just suggested, Dex. Okay, so we are talking about our why today. and I posited that I would like you guys to share your whys with me. So for me, it took me a while to kind of figure out what my why was, and a lot of it has come from running my business, figuring out why I do what I do, what guides me. And interestingly enough, figuring out why I do what I do in my business actually led me to the why that I have in my life. And as a child growing up, I grew up in a single parent household. My mom was it for us. Even when my dad and my mom were together, my dad was living his own, they lived like separate lives. That's a story for another day. So I never really had the nuclear family experience. And I remember as a kid thinking about and seeing on TV people with like, nuclear families, and wishing that I would want that for myself. So when I dreamed, like we all do, dream of our lives, I dreamt of a nuclear family for myself, a husband, 2 kids, a boy, a girl, the whole 9. I didn't imagine what the groom was gonna look like. And if you guys have seen my husband, he probably does not fit the bill that I would have imagined when I was 6 years old. So that has been a surprise in the life. But I never realized that all of my decisions were being made because I was looking for family. That had become my why, my intention. Looking back, looking at the choices that I made, coming to the US, living with my mom, going to college but still wanting to be home, having my son at the age that I did, meeting my husband, getting married. It was always like going to law school, but choosing to not live the 10% life because I wanted to be home, be with my kids. All of those decisions, I didn't realize that all of them led to family. That family is my why. It's what I do. It's why I do what I do. I chose the practice area that I did, not realizing that I did it because I wanted to be mom. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to have the career, but I didn't want to sacrifice my family because of my career. And so I chose estate planning because it allows me to do that. I have my own business because it allows me to be not because of anything else, but because it allowed me to continue to be a mom, to continue to be a matriarch in my home, to continue to be a presence in my children's life, to continue to be a parent, to have my family. And so when I really nailed down my why in my business, it was that I want to help people to protect their family relationships. And so I'm hoping that you guys are kind of like, sharing, thinking about this, and, like I said, share wise, because I want to know, I cannot be the only one who's thinking about this or has thought about it. And what I do in my practice is help people figure out how to protect their families, but we do it from a place of why. So when a person comes to me, one of the first questions that I ask them is, what is your goal? So I ask you that. What is the goal of whatever you do? So you have a job. What is your goal that you're trying to accomplish in your job? You have dreams. What are you trying to accomplish with those dreams? It's like, it's easy for us to like look at our dreams and say, well, I would like to buy a house. But why do you want to buy the house? Is it because you want home ownership? Is it because you want to pass on a legacy to your family? Or is it because you're single and you're hoping to have a home for a family? So really, I like, those are the kind of questions. Like, don't only think about the goal or the thing that you're doing. I invite you guys to think about the reason behind it. It's like, that is how we live life through intention, is by understanding our whys. It's like, once I understood that what I was trying to accomplish was having a family and protecting that family, it also helps me be a better estate planning lawyer, because it helps me help my clients figure that out and to make the decisions that they needed to make in protecting that family, if that is what their goal is. And honestly, a lot of my clients are coming to my office because they're trying to protect their family, which is why I consider myself to be a family protection planning attorney. It's like, we are not concerned so much about your net worth. It's a conversation, it's part of the discussion, but it's not the only thing that we consider. Why? Because the reason why you're in my office is not because of how much money you have. The reason why you're in my office is because you're trying to protect your family. Whether that is you want to make sure that there's a legacy for them to have, whether that is you want them to be able to go to college, whether that is you want to make sure that your children have a guardian, whether that is you want to make sure that your husband has someone who can help take care of him if something happens to you. Whatever that why is, there is a why, and it's truly hardly ever what we think it is. But it does take intention. It does take you thinking beyond the act or the thought or the thing to figure out your why. So why don't you guys pick a thing in your life right now and share with me why are you doing it? Why are you choosing why are you choosing whatever it is that you're choosing? Why are you making the decision that you're making? Like I said, I'm really hoping to have an interactive conversation with you guys today. Really want to help with the intention of how you live your life. I can tell you that definitely for me, understanding my why has made me a better parent. It made me a better wife. It has made me a better estate plan attorney. Okay, so Kay, you said it's all about family. What does that mean for you, all about family? Are you wanting to keep your family close? Family financial security, okay. So all of the decisions that you're making are geared towards having that family financial security because you want to make sure your family is financially secure. Great, but why? Why is that important to you? Because a lot of people, when you ask them why they're working, they will say, I'm working as hard as I am for my family. But then when you look at how they're living their lives, they're absent from their families. They're missing a lot of stuff. Their kids are growing up without them. You know, it's a very easy thing for us to say, family financial security, but why is that the thing, and what does that mean to you? Not so much for me, for the kids. Okay, so financial security for the kids. You want the kids to be able to have experiences. You want them to be able to, so that they can have a future they deserve. Okay, awesome. I love that. Because I think that understanding that right there, Dex, of that you want your children to have the family that they deserve, and you are defining what that family that they deserve looks like, it means that you will, as much as you'll be focused on the financial security aspect of it, you'll also be making sure that you are taking further steps to ensure that they deserve, that they have the life that you think that they deserve. Because honestly, money can only get you so far. I'm not gonna be one to sneeze and say, like, you know, money's not important. Having financial security, having financial comfort is important, but at the end of the day, if the reason why you're doing this is family, then then of course you want to make sure that all of the other things that you're doing as well is protecting that family, you know. So I love that you're thinking about it in terms of like the future for your children. So my family can be in a better place than I was when I got to be their age. I love that. What does that mean though, Floriana? So when you got to be, so you want to set them up to have a future that is better than what you have now. Is that correct? Yeah, kind of yeah. Yes, okay, awesome. And so all of the decisions that you're making is geared towards making sure that they have that, right? You know, it's like, I love this, that a lot of what you guys are saying has to do with, like, you know, family. And just like, I have to say, like, just kind of digging beyond, because it's so easy for us to make those blanket statements. Like, you know, my family is the most important thing to me. And one of the things that my husband and I talk about a lot is when we see people who say that, you know, it's like, my family is the most important thing to me, but then you look at the actions that they're taking. You know, if you're working a job, if you're working a job where you are at work for 12 hours a day, and you're working that 6 days a week, and when you're home, you're in front of the TV, how can you justify and say, I'm doing all of what I'm doing for my family, but then your family is missing you? You know, and then you're also missing your family. You're missing your family grow up. So the reason why I'm like actually like really like asking beyond just the my family is because it's like it really does take a lot of intention to live that life, or to give your family the life that you think they deserve. You know, it's not so much just saying, I want to do this for my family. It's like, what else are you doing? Like, so on your day off, are you making sure that you're checking in with your family? When you come home at night, are you guys doing family dinners? So, true story. When my husband and I moved to LA, after we got married, one of the things that was very important to us was having family dinners. It is not something that I grew up with. It's not something that he grew up with. We just kind of ate, like, you know, like sit on the couch and eat, or when you're hungry you just eat. There's always food, so you just kind of just like walked around and ate. But for us it was important to have that every night where we sat down with the kids and had that conversation. And so we have been able to keep that going even when my husband worked and wouldn't get home till 8 o'clock. So what does that mean for our family? We eat super late. We are the 8 o'clock in the night, 8:30 in the night having dinner people. Why? Because we want to make sure at every night we are at that table together sharing a meal, that we are checking in with the kids and seeing how they're doing, how is school, what do they need, that we as a couple are connecting, and that we are creating a family unit that is strong in the sense of how we think it should be strong, and we are taking steps to creating that. So yes, my husband's like, you know, if you ask him, I work really hard for my family. If you ask me, I work really hard for my family. But beyond that, we make sure that we are taking the steps in our family to also protect that by doing those things. And it seems crazy to have dinner at 8:30. You know, and now my son works and sometimes he doesn't get home till like 11. And it is absolutely nuts that we do sometimes wait till 11 o'clock to have dinner with him, because we don't want to lose that. And my son's 18, you know, my daughter's 13. We've been doing this for their entire lives, where we have had to shift and alter and change as our lives have changed to make sure that that thing that we call that family is protected. So you know, I want to like just like, you know, if you don't want to share your intention, that's okay. If you don't want to share your why, if you don't even know what your why is, that's okay. But I do invite you to think about that question. Think about what you're doing, why you're doing it. Think about the intention behind it, and really make sure that once you have that intention locked in place, that all of the other things, and you're not going to be perfect at it. No one is. You know, it's like there's like no one. There's not a standard. Perfection is like, you know, it doesn't exist. But what you can do is make sure that more and more of your actions that you're taking are with your intention in mind, and that you're not just going through life just kind of rolling through it without any kind of direction. You want to make sure that you have your guiding intention, and if that is family, then that is family. And then you want to also understand what that means for family, whether like Dex was very specific, family security. I want to make sure, and Florina also making sure that my kids have a better life than I did when they get to be my age. Those are all great things. And then making sure that as you're taking steps in your life, that you are taking them to protect it. And from an estate planning perspective, if your goal is family security, if your goal is making sure that your kids have a life that is better than yours, I would definitely say that estate planning is one of the great ways to do it. And when I say estate plan, the last couple of sessions I've done, I've like given you guys options of things that you can DIY to have a plan. I definitely recommend, if you have no life insurance policy and you're young like me, I have to say one of the things that came out of COVID was the ease of securing life insurance. And I am a big purveyor that life insurance does help with giving your family financial security, and it is surprisingly so very inexpensive. So I have a policy. I pay $20 a month, you guys. I don't even notice it. It's an automatic debit out of my account. Do you know how easy it is for me to spend $20? You know, I go to the dollar store, I sneeze, and I walk out of there spending $40. So having insurance and just for transparency's sake, it's $1 million term policy. So it is possible for you to get that kind of coverage for $20 a day, a month. And what's great about my policy is it is convertible. So when I get to be older and my health is failing, but I want to convert to a whole life policy, I can without having to do the medical exam again. And right now, because of COVID, a lot of companies out there are allowing you to take that medical test, not actually get insurance without life insurance without actually having to take the medical test. So take advantage of it, get yourself a policy, and start on that path to giving your family that financial security that you're hoping to give them. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and I just want to mention it again. I think that especially for African American communities, one of the things that we are lacking is the ability to transfer wealth. I'm reading this book right now. It's called The Color of Money. It is written by Mirza Baradaran. It's on Amazon, so check it out. It talks a lot about how slavery and what happened after slavery to make it so difficult for African Americans to own homes, for African Americans to accumulate wealth, and for them, and she really dives into the black banks, the role that they play and why they fail. It's a really great read. It's heavy, so I read a couple of chapters and then I stop, or I read an hour and I stop because it is very heavy stuff. But definitely recommend. It's a good read to just kind of help. But I really am a person who believes that we as African Americans need to pass on, to accumulate wealth and to pass on. And like I said, life insurance is a good thing. And when you figure out what your why is and you start to live that why and you start to live your life with intention, it is so much easier to get to that goal and so much easier to make sure that your family gets to continue to live that life that you envisioned for them. Let me see, there's a comment that just came in. I just wanted to look at it. My why 40 years ago was to provide for my kids' needs at the time because I thought that was more important thing to do. Now that everyone is grown and have a family, my why now is to work for my retirement and my happiness. That is beautiful, mommy. What you also showed is that our whys can change. Our whys can transition as our life changes, and that it's not a one-time exercise to figure out what your why is. In fact, it's an ongoing process for us to constantly be examining our lives, constantly examining why we're doing what we're doing, the intention behind what we're doing, and having that why evolve and being okay with your why evolving, I think is so important. And I like to know, mommy, as that was my mom's comment, you guys. I like knowing that your why now is your retirement and your happiness. I wish that when we were younger, that was also a why for you. I understand why it wasn't. And I appreciate the fact that you made the decisions that you made to give us the life we have, because we do, all of us, we're able to kind of find our way, find our path. And I saw how you lived your life, and it has definitely informed how I live my life as well. So welcome to anyone else who kind of hopped in. We were talking about our whys today, hoping to live our life with more intention, get to our goals, whether that is family, financial security, protection, whatever that looks like. We learned how to make a chairman's old fashioned, which I will be popping in the comments below. And I'm gonna let you guys, unless anyone else has anything else to share with me, I will thank you guys for hopping in and giving us a little bit of your time on this Friday morning. We always appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us, sharing your thoughts. I do appreciate everyone who commented and shared their whys with me. For all of you guys who were quiet but were in the background, I hope you were absorbing and that you were thinking and that you're gonna live a much more intentioned life. I wish that for you. As I have undergone the journey for myself, and I continue to undergo that journey for myself. You guys have an amazing Friday. It is a beautiful day in Dana Point. The sun's out. It is hot, and which we haven't seen in a long time. So go enjoy your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, And we hope to see you next week for another episode of Rum Shop Talks, where you will learn how to make another recipe, chairman's. I am hoping to teach you guys how to make the chairman's Mai Tai, but that one has a lot of ingredients. So I will spend some time this weekend making sure I gather all the ingredients, and we'll have a new recipe for you next week and a new topic, whether that is legal or lifestyle. You guys let me know what you want to learn about. I'm hoping to get a few more guests to come in, so I want to make sure that the guests that I bring in address your concerns, speak to your interests. And so comment below, let me know if there's any particular topics that you want to be aware of, and I will hook you guys up with guests for that. Ciao, bye, and see you next week.